What's up, guys? Paris here. We made an introduction to what is SRE and what functions an SRE perform. Starting from today, I'm going to talk about some specific topics that can be helpful for your SRE interviews. I'll pick the topics randomly each time. Let's start with basic bash commands. These videos are not just to prepare you for interviews, but also helpful for your SRE career. Even if you have a job currently, make sure you understand these topics. All right, let's start. So today we will explore bash command line. But first let's talk about shell. Actually, there are more than one shell you can use, like bash, C shell, ZSH, etc. As you know, Linux is an operating system. Kernel is the heart of it. As users, we need an interface to interact with the kernel. On Windows, you have that graphical UI to interact with the OS. On Linux, we prefer this block command line you see on the screen right now. In fact, we have graphical interface also. macOS is like Linux. It is designed like Linux. It has both graphical interface and command line. Right now you see my bash command line. I want to let you know this is a Linux box and this is a bash command line. Different operating systems and shells may behave differently, so be mindful about that. Let's talk about what is a command line. Well, you see this dollar, it is called prompt here, um, which means bash is waiting for your command, for your input. For normal users, we use dollar, but for super users like root, we use hash symbol. But actually, you can change your prompt. In Bash, we have different variables to store some useful information, like prompt definition, search paths, my home directory, so on and so forth. We have echo command to show these variables like this. Um, let's echo our prompt. To do this, we need to know what is the variable for the prompt. Prompt is stored in PS1. So this is our first prompt. We also have a secondary prompt which is called PS2. Bash will need that when you need a second line for your command, for when you have a long input. Okay, so let's echo $PS1. So we have to put a dollar sign to echo that variable. If you don't put dollar, that means you wanna echo this string, not the variable. We can try it actually here. So see, it just prints PS1. But I want to get the variable from this, get the value from this variable. So you see that's a complex string here, but we can make some sense like this. This slash u means username, which is Ubuntu here. That slash h means hostname, which is node01, and there is an @ and there are other things, of course, like these are colors. We have this green nice prompt here. um, yeah, so we can change this actually. We need to use export command to change any variable on bash. Uh, Actually, we can set it like this also, but like this, variable or value like this, but this won't be available to the subsequent commands. Subsequent commands will be in a different session. So if you want to make any variable available to these subsequent sessions, you need to set that variable globally, which you need to use export. So that's how you should do it. So I can set any string here. I just want to go with this. Okay. So you see I changed my prompt. You can even call a function to customize your prompt. We can echo our new prompt. PS1. As you can see, it is changed. And there are other useful variables also. We can echo them, like echo $. This gives us the PID of the current hash. We can actually verify this with ps command. PS command shows us all the processes we have. And let's grab the bash one. You can see that's the PID. It's same what we see here. So that $$ actually represents the PID of bash. We can echo $home, of course, with space. So home Ubuntu, that's my home directory. Actually, we have pwd command to see my current directory. So I'm in my home. And another one is $hostname. And actually we can see hostname with that command also. There are other things like $path. $path, this shows us our search path. When you run a command, it will search it first in these directories. Like there are columns between these directories, you see. Yeah, so also actually we can see our current directory with pwd. That's our working directory. We have that timeout variable also. It is not set actually here. Okay, let's skip this. There are UID also. So this is my UID. It's my user ID. We can see this actually with ID command. So the user is Ubuntu. If you say ID Ubuntu, you see that's the user ID, and that one is group ID. So that UID gives us the user ID. So you must be noticed as a convention we use capital letters for bash variables. You don't have to, but it is good to have that convention. Keep it that way. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you with the next video.